Customers are very smart. You should never underestimate customers.
You need to learn to build trust.
One of the greatest skill sets that an entrepreneur, employee, salesperson can have is reducing stress.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Jeff Bezos. Also, if you want to have more self-love and confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
If everything has to work in 2 to 3 years, then that limits what you can do.
Stress primarily comes from not taking action. If you absolutely can't tolerate critics, then don't do anything new or interesting. One of the reasons we have been able to extend into new business areas and first new product categories, going way back, we just sold books and then we started selling music and DVDs and electronics and toys and so on. And then we've extended into electronic reading with Kindle. The reason customers have been receptive in large part to our new initiatives is because we have worked hard to earn trust with them. Earning trust with customers is a valuable business asset. And if you mistreat their data, they will know. They will figure it out. Customers are very smart. You should never underestimate customers.
If you want to become a millionaire or influence a million people, you need to learn to build trust. This is where you can really win as an entrepreneur because people have a really hard time trusting big companies to do the right thing. So this is where you win. You win by not trying to be exactly like the big companies. You win by showing that you actually care and will do the right thing by the customer. So bringing it to a YouTube world as an example, I think everybody should be responding to all comments. One of the things that I believe in is every comment we try to get a response to. Every comment gets a response. Every comment gets a response. And at the beginning when you're doing a YouTube channel, it's easy. My first video on YouTube, it took me a year to get 3 comments. I made a video. Within 1 year, there were only 3 comments on that video. The first comment was my mom. Thank you, Mom. The second comment was my older sister. Thank you, Alexandra. And the third comment was from some random dude, a new star. Somebody discovered my channel, right? 1 year, 3 comments. Those are pretty easy to respond to, right? It's super easy in the early days when you're not getting comments. If you're getting a comment a day, a comment a week, a couple comments a day, it's easy to respond to. What happens when people scale is they stop responding to comments because they don't know how to scale the business. Because at the beginning, they're doing everything themselves and it doesn't take up a lot of time, but as you start getting more comments, it starts to take up more time. I get hundreds of comments every day on my YouTube channel. I can't respond to every single comment personally myself. If I could, if I did it, then I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't be making this video because I was spending all my time responding to people's comments, right? That's the process. But just like any other business, when you start a business, you're doing everything yourself. If you start selling flowers on the street, you're doing everything, right? You got to find the flowers, you got to sell the flowers, you got to distribute the flowers, you're doing everything. As you grow and as you get a flower store, then you bring on a team, right? And you have people who are selling flowers for you and opening the store for you and cleaning the store for you. You're still doing work, right? You're doing more important work. You can't do all of the tasks in the business at all times. If you're always doing everything, you're never going to scale. And so I believe that bigger YouTube channels should hire a team to respond to comments. I have an awesome guy on my team named Velko, who you'll see responding to a lot of comments, and he'll save the comments that I need to see. So if there's feedback or suggestions or improvements, I want to see them. If there's criticism, I want to see it. If it's just saying, thank you, Evan, for the video, amazing. I feel the love. I don't need to see all of those comments that come in, right? I'll sort through some of them, respond to some of them, but that's not going to be the best use of my time every day because then I'm not making videos. And so make that equivalent for yourself. At the beginning, it's easy to show heart, easy to show care because you don't have that many customers, because maybe you only have 1 customer. And so you can show them the love. But as you scale and grow, how can you continue to do that? whether it's you doing that most important element yourself because that's the thing that drives it, or you have people on your team that really show that love and support because you want to make sure the customer feels respected and appreciated. It's really easy to build trust in a one-on-one situation. It's harder as you build and scale your clients, and so you need to build and scale your culture alongside. So how can you better earn trust with your customers? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is delight a customer daily. Every day, just find a way to delight a customer. Every single day. If you have one customer, then that's pretty easy. Just find a way to help them every day. Or you have 10 customers, great, then cycle through, and every 10 days you're helping another customer. And it doesn't have to be something massive and overwhelming. Just showing that you're thinking about them. Just showing that you care. Just showing that you've taken time out of your day to help them with something. And it could be something inside their business. It could be something in their personal life. It could be something that they told you about one of their hobbies. It could be a resource that you came across. For example, this isn't customer, it's more team, but same idea. Someone on my Toronto Dance Salsa team has Lyme's disease. And she's had Lyme disease, she got bitten by a tick, and she has Lyme disease, and so she struggled with it since she got it. And I put a alert on my calendar for Lyme's disease, and so I get updates on what's happening. I get updates on new prevention, I get updates on conferences that are happening, I get updates on new treatments, I get updates on what people are doing and talking about. I get updates on Shania Twain and Avril Lavigne having Lyme's disease. And anytime I find something new that I learned is new, then I give it to her. And I say, hey, here's this new thing that came out. There's a conference that's coming up in Eastern Canada. I said, hey, this is a conference just dedicated to Lyme disease. She said, wow, that's really cool. I was like, yeah, next time you should be speaking there. Because she wants to add to awareness and prevention. Right? And so that builds trust, that builds the relationship, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. So think about what your customers love. Think about what their interests are. Think about why they bought from you and the problems that they're facing in their business. Think about how you can help them beyond just the problem that you got hired for. Right? You got hired for this one little tiny thing. They have one little problem that you are trying to help solve for them. Awesome. But they have lots of problems in their business, and they have even more problems in their life and interests. And so the more that you even just know about these things and that you can start conversations around and provide value to, the more you're going to earn trust, the more you're going to get more business from them, the more you're going to get more referrals as well. So every day in your calendar, schedule it in, delight a customer. Step number 2 to building trust is tell your story. This is something I was so awkward and embarrassed about at the beginning because I'm introverted, and I felt like telling your story is too egotistical, and who wants to know my story, right? I'm telling the stories of all these other people, and I have done that many amazing things. You know, it's too much of an ego trip. I don't want to do it. Your story is the thing that gives you the advantage as an entrepreneur, right? Why you would buy from a big company is because of pricing, is because of branding, is because of advertising, is because you know them, because buying from, Starbucks is probably going to be an experience. You know what they expect from Starbucks, right? So that the logo means something. Why should somebody buy from you instead of buying from Starbucks? If you look corporate and boring and you're trying to be a Starbucks, you're going to lose because you'll just be a tiny version of Starbucks. What I want to see is that you care deeply about coffee. If you want to go up against Starbucks and you want to win my business, show me how much you care about coffee. Show how much you care about me. If I walked into your store and said, hey, I'll grab a large black coffee, right? If you ask me about what my business is, if you ask me about what I'm doing for the rest of the day, if you ask me which kind of coffee I want and explain the difference in the flavors, if you remember me the next time I come, if you think about what I'm saying and then pull up an article that is related or about that, if somebody in the store who's related to what I'm doing that you can introduce me to, right? Like all these little things, any little thing that can help bring value beyond just selling me the coffee that you have, right? A smile on the face, great service, awesome. I'm talking about the next level up, right? Giving them value and telling me your story. Why do you do this? You might care, like this is such a problem for entrepreneurs. You care so much. It's great. You care so much. You care more than the big guys do. You care way more than the big guys do, for sure. I believe it. But if you don't tell me, then I won't know. You have the heart, you don't have the marketing because you're afraid to share your story. You have to share your story. You have to tell me why this is so important to you. You have to tell me why I mean so much to you, right? Personally, right? One-on-one, but also on your website with a video. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not a speaker, I suck in front of the camera. That's okay. If you're running a coffee shop, I don't need you to be great in front of the camera. Now, if you're a public speaker and you suck on camera, that's gonna be a problem, right? If you wanna be a motivational speaker and you can't do a video with your story, that's a problem. But if you're a coffee shop owner, if you're a tech company, I'm not expecting a fantastic public speaker. I wanna see your heart. I wanna know why you did this business. You should make a video. You need to make a video. Why you started this business and why you care so much. And put that on your website and expect it to suck. Just have clean audio. I expect it to be just an okay, production video. Don't go and hire somebody for $10,000 to make this video. Do it yourself from your phone. Just show me how much you care. Tell me why you started this business and why you care so much. And step number 3 is give the baker's dozen. This is where you're always trying to find one extra thing that you can give in. So baker's dozen comes from the donut world. At least, I don't know if this is a worldwide thing or just a Canada thing, where if you go to some donut stores and buy a dozen, they'll give you what's called the baker's dozen, and they'll give you a 13th donut for free. So you get 13 donuts when you buy 12. That's the baker's dozen. So what can you do in your world that's the equivalent? How can you help your customers in the same way, giving them more than what they expected, right? They asked for this, they got this. That's not enough, right? I mean, if they ask for this and you give them something way off, expect negative reviews, expect hate, expect, negativity on Twitter, expect them never to come back, and they tell 50 of their friends about how much you suck. Great. That's if you don't deliver. If you just deliver what they asked for, it's okay. Meh. They don't hate you. They don't love you. You did what they asked. You're not creating a negative or positive experience. You just did what they asked. You have to go above and beyond. You have to give the baker's dozen. You gotta find a reason for them to go off and tell their friends and talk positively about you. And this works even when you underperformed or had a problem. For example, I have a YouTube course that's out right now teaching people how to get their first 1 million subscribers on YouTube, right? And somebody just bought and had a problem getting into the private Facebook group. And so people who buy the program get in the private Facebook group. You're there with me. I'm coaching in the group once a month. And it's also just a nice way to connect with other ambitious creators who want to build a business off of YouTube. And he couldn't get in. He's clicking the link, it's not working, clicking the link, it's not working. And I'm confused because I don't know why it's not working. And so I made a quick little screen video to say, hey, here's what happens when I click it. I clicked here and up comes Facebook and it's working. And then I click here and it's working. But it wasn't working for him. So I don't know what the problem is, but I just want to show you that it's working on my end. Everybody else is in, but I want to solve this for you. And I copied my assistant in on the email to make sure we find a way to get him added to the group. Great. Sent. He's probably not expecting a video, but already that's, baker's dozen. But that's not enough, right? Like, forget baker's dozen. Baker's 15. When they ask for 12, you give them 15. So then what I did was I did a quick channel audit of his videos. So I loaded another screen record. I went to his YouTube channel and said, hey man, again, I feel really bad that you weren't able to get into the Facebook group. We're working our way. We're gonna make sure we get you in this week. I want to give you some quick advice for your YouTube channel. And I loaded up his channel page and I went through his videos and I gave him 3 big ideas that I think would help. Like, if you did these 3 things, it will help you. And people pay me a lot for this kind of advice. And so I gave it to him for free as a bonus. And he wrote back, he's overwhelmed. Said, thank you so much, unexpected. Looking forward to being a part of the course. I really appreciate you. Didn't take me that long to do, right? That recording, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. And I made his day. From a problematic situation. Now, he wasn't writing in upset and say, refund me or rip off. He wasn't saying anything like that. But he has a slightly bad taste in his mouth that the experience with my company wasn't what he expected. And hopefully we're giving him that plus more, right? The baker's dozen. Apply it to your business. Now I have a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, how can you delight one of your customers today? What are you going to do? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, you're still watching, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe in the comments as well.
Yeah, being an entrepreneur is about being a problem solver, right? What is selling? Selling is not convincing. Selling is helping. As tech entrepreneurs here, if you're going to a customer, whether it's a consumer or you're in B2B, either you're making your customer's life easier, either you're reducing your stress, or you're making it harder and you're increasing their stress. I mean, over the years, I think some of the things I've come to learn, particularly dealing with some of these Shark Tank companies, is one of the greatest skill sets that an entrepreneur, employee, salesperson can have is reducing stress. If you find that when you go to work, stress increases the minute you walk in the door, you've got a problem. If you have an employee and the minute they walk in the door, you have a problem and they have a problem. And what I've found is the best companies, the best employees that I have, the best investments that I have are the people who reduce stress, because those are the people we don't want to give up. You know, they may not, they don't make the most noise, they don't always get the biggest paychecks, they don't always close the biggest deals, but when there's problems that need to be solved, they're already working on them before you're even aware of them. Those are the people that we love, and those are the things, you know, reducing stress. If you set in your mind goals as an entrepreneur for your company, one, keeping your, you know, selling and keeping your customers very happy. Two, staying ahead of the curve with your competitors. And three, reducing stress of everybody around you, all your stakeholders, you're going to be successful. Because if you think about all your personal experiences, would you rather do business with somebody who creates stress, or do you want to do business with the person who reduces stress? It's an easy answer, but you'd be amazed at how many people don't follow through in that.
If you want to know how billionaire Sarah Blakely manifests her ideas, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.